Welcome, my friends, to the Surrey Art School studio. My name's Ellie. I'm the founder of Surrey Art School, and we're a school of creativity for well-being nestled in the Surrey Hills. Now, as well as being inspired by nature and the seasons, we're big believers in the culture of tea drinking at Surrey Art School. And so we've designed a little tea kit for you, a tea drinking kit, with a little dose of mindfulness attached to it. And today I'm just going to explain a little bit more about what that kit is and how you can get into a daily habit, just like drinking a cup of tea, in terms of getting yourself into a more mindful mindset. So what does mindfulness mean? Well, to me, mindfulness is about staying present. And our minds are sort of hardwired to look ahead and to look back to the past. And yet the present is the only moment over which we really have any control. So this is the moment that we want to be in life. And for me, things like painting and drawing really help me to be in my body and to be present in my day-to-day life. But I'd also noticed a habit of mine in terms of my tea drinking. And I'd realised that when I was drinking a cup of tea in the studio, and I really love a cup of tea, and when I was drinking my tea, I would drink a few sips and then I would rush off and do something else. And by the time I settled down to drink my tea again, my tea was cold. And it reminded me, I am not being present with this cup of tea. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but if I haven't got 5 minutes to sit and drink a cup of tea and be present with that cup, then how does that behavior, or how do those habits play out in the rest of my life? And so this is the invitation of the Have a Cuppa Kit, is to use a habit that you have already formed in your mind, which is perhaps regular tea or coffee drinking, and to add a mindful twist to that habit by using our senses to connect to the act of tea drinking. And I'll explain what I mean here. So in your Have a Cuppa Kit, you have a few tools to help you with this sort of daily ritual, or adapting this daily ritual. We've got a little notebook where you can record your thoughts, your feelings. Perhaps think about writing in this after you have engaged in the mindful activity that I'm going to share with you. We also have some affirmation cards, and these are designed with the Surrey Art School philosophy. Read the instructions. These are a tool for sort of checking in. How am I feeling? What do I need to know? And they include some mantras, and mantras are also a fantastic way of putting awareness into the mind, or sort of planting a seed in the mind that can take root. So if you say to yourself on a day-to-day basis, I am grounded, then your body will react to that. You will feel more grounded in your day. So the affirmation tools cards are a tool that you can use to accompany the thoughts that I'm going to share with you in this video. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, you will find loads of individually wrapped sachets of tea. 7 sachets of tea, 1 for every day of the week and 1 for every colour of the rainbow. And the invitation of this kit is to drink one of these cups of tea every day for 7 days, and just to notice how you feel at the end. You may not notice any difference, or perhaps you will. And that's what's exciting about learning, is that, as humans, we are constantly able to adapt, to change, to evolve, and to shift our behavior. And that really does start with our habits. That really does start with sort of tea drinking, which in essence, I think, sort of in our culture, in our culture and in other cultures, it's about taking a pause, isn't it? It's about a moment of reflection. So I invite you every day to brew yourself a cup of tea. And even when you are brewing your tea, I invite you to put some mindfulness into that action. So, as you are sort of filling the cup with water, just notice the steam rising off the tea bag. Maybe you'll stir the tea, and as you stir the tea, you'll notice the colour of the liquid change. Perhaps you'll reach into the fridge, and as you do, you'll notice the cool sensation of the milk in the fridge. And as you pour that into your tea, you'll notice the change in the colour again, the change in the consistency of the liquid. You may notice some bubbles on the surface. And even as you stir the tea and you use your spoon to lift out your tea bag, you may notice a change in the weight of the tea bag. And that sensation, that physical sensation, may anchor you if you notice it. And you can then place your tea bag in the bin and notice the change, the shift in the weight. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to invite you to make a cup of tea. And then as you are drinking your tea, I'm going to give you some mindful exercises to open up the 5 senses, because when we are connected to our senses, that is, the cool of the air, of the breeze, the warmth of the cup, the smell of the tea. When we're connected to those things, we are in body. And when we are in body, we are present. When we're in mind, we can jump around, forward, past, present. But when we're in body, we are really here in this moment. So I invite you to go and get yourself a cup of tea, and you can choose from one of the pre-wrapped Tea Pigs tea bags that we've provided. Make your tea as mindfully as you can. Try and stay present, put your phone away, don't scroll. Just stay in that moment, in that action, and then come back, find yourself a comfortable seat, and I'm going to talk you through a very gentle 7 to 8 minutes meditation. Okay?